So, hello and welcome to the first ever IAM Satsang in the Crystal Palace, this holy and humble yurt along the Crystal River in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. It's my new home for a couple of months now, so still a work in progress in creating my environment. But I welcome you into the warmth and the coziness of this ancient indigenous place for satsang. Hope that music was soothing to your soul and calling you into a deeper place within yourself, within the heart. Satsang is sharing truth. See it as sharing a transmission of truth. Not something for you to receive with your mind, but to feel with your heart, with your mind, and your body, and to tune into your soul to really transmit the pure essence of the source that we are, that every single one of us is, in the hopes and the goal, if it is, of helping you to realize that truth within yourself, become more familiar with that, to come into an attunement with your soul, with your higher self, with your essence, because it's right here within us all the time. It's what we always are. It's where our consciousness, our experience all comes from, but we get far from it. We come so out or so into our humanness, into all of our stories and traumas and dramas and dreams and just everything, all the good and bad, the bliss and the grief and all those things. They're all amazing. They're all part of our glorious experience here on the planet, and yet we get lost in them. And there's a deeper part of ourselves, this deeper essence that we can come into. We can come into alignment with. We can return into that and expand into that remembrance of the truth of who we are. And there's many paths and vehicles to that, and plant medicines and ceremonies and all kinds of teachings and techniques, but in the simplicity of it, it's what we always are. And it's returning into that centered heart, an expanded place that we begin to remember that and feel that and know that. And this is where the place of pure peace and power and potential lies, in this inner alignment, this seat of our power. It's really the source of experience itself. So when we come fully back into the I am, the pure awareness, we are the source of experience. And the more that we tune into that and tune all of our mind and our heart and our body, all the energetics that are going on within our field of experience, the more that we shed the things that are false within our field, that aren't true in alignment with our highest essence, and the more that we tune into those truths within ourselves, which are, the more our vibration raises, the more peace and equanimity and bliss and potential that we experience. And when the trauma is arising, when our darkness is happening, when all kinds of other things are happening, we have a tool, we have a way of returning back into this wholeness, coming back into that source, giving ourselves the opportunity to work with what's arising, to integrate it, to open it up, open up the energy of our body and our emotions and our mind and all these things that are creating certain experiences in our reality, our frequency of experience. And as the source, which is before all frequency, all sense of emotion and self, it's the pure oneness, the pure source essence, the more we come into that I am, the source, the greater power that we have in our life to transform whatever's arising back into this pure potential to be what you are, to be what you came here to be, which is a beautiful and powerful and manifesting, experiential vessel. You're this human body, and you are the source of experience in itself. You are the source of all of reality. That's what all of us are. And if you tap into that within yourself, you feel that, you know that. That's the oneness. And you can do that in deep meditation. You can do that in practices, and I'm going to share some with you here. How to deepen into that, and how to work with the old, with all these traumas and energies that we're full of them. Our field of experience, our mind, heart, and body. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions, our actions. All of those is our field of experience. That's our humanness, but we are the source. That's before that. We are the pure I am, coming through and being all of those things. And so we can use that. We can return to that I am, that wholeness, and work with what's arising to clear them out, to integrate, and to become more empowered to be who we want to be from moment to moment, and to really allow that true gift of who we really are to come through, because we each have a unique expression to be here in the world. This is our purpose. This is why I said, how do you find more peace and purpose in your life? Because the peace comes from knowing that you are the source, and knowing how to rest into the heart and expand into that source. It's up and above, below. There's a practice. There's an energetic way of centering and grounding in this source, which opens up a greater flow of energy, increases your bandwidth to receive source energy itself. And this is where the peace comes in. And then your purpose is primarily, first and always, that. To be the truth of who you are. To know that you have power over your experience, what's happening within you in each moment, and the more that you tune that and master that state of being, the more that you see that the outer experience also flows around that, and there's this beautiful dance of who you are, what you're holding, what your vibration is, what shows up, whether it's traumas or bliss or opportunities, all these things. They're all different responses to what's going on inside of here. But primarily you have the power over what is going on over here, and it releases you from, in a way, needing the external to be anything, which is where you start to really find true freedom and power. And then the co-creation, the dance that happens with that. So this is what all the great teachings say. You are the source itself. And the source is the creator. The creation of all of life lives in and as this source essence, and we come into these individualized bodies as a unique expression of that, but we still always are that source. We have that within us. We're it. And we can return to that place, into that pure I am, and become more masterful in our life, and really be of service to ourselves, to our joy, to the world around us, to living whatever it is we desire and what we're here to do and be in the world. So the I Am Sangha is a community of people who are ready, who are stepping into that, living into that, leaning into that power, desiring to know and be that I am, pure source essence. And to help be that with each other, help spread that possibility, and share that energetic, that transmission of potential. And as you do it in yourself and in your life around you, and as we collectively grow this grid, and the Sangha is global. It's not just, we're a part of this movement, this evolutionary expansion of humanity, of consciousness itself on this planet. And I know that there's all kinds of other things going on in the news, in our lives, all this trauma and drama and darkness, myself included. I mean, it's been, it's going to really tap into that. On the one hand, it has been an extremely dark and difficult time for seemingly a long time now, like years, right? all kinds of stuff being confronted, and the polarity and all these things, and this intensity and this great fear of what's going on the planet. But at the same time, I know for me, I'm assuming it's in different ways for everybody, that there's all these gifts and blessings, all this magic, all these amazing things happening in your life. Right? So the gifts are here, the shadows here. The I am is that pure essence that's before or beyond all of that. It can help marry those two. Begin to see the shadow as gifts, and the gifts as shadows, and the highs and the lows, all these different expressions of ourselves as this beautiful experience of being human on the planet. And that by working with our grief, our darkness, our shadows, our traumas, actively, whether it's in the moment when they're arising, how do you work with it, or as I'm going to show you with your blueprint, how you can go through and actively start to clean up your house, go through this process of these 12 codes in your blueprint to clean up and begin to integrate a lot of the surface level things in your field, in your story, that are clogging you up, lowering your vibration, keeping you from really experiencing and living as the truth of who you are. And the more you do that work, the more bandwidth to that pure source energy you begin to open up, and then the more work there is to do as life goes. And what I've seen over the years now, the main and primary work becomes, are you able to be with what is and return into that wholeness, into that place of I am, and just welcome it all in? Because if you do, transformation occurs over and over again, and so many ways it gets easier and easier, but it also, there's a lot going on in the field. We're all being cleansed. Humanity is being cleansed, or at least all of those who are wanting it. So hope you're feeling that. This is not an idea. This is something I feel and live and know, and have for many years now. And I know that's why I'm here on the planet, is to be a vessel of that pure source energy of love, to live that, to live into all the darkness of all of the darkest depths of grief and suffering that it is to be a human on this planet. I've lived all of that too. And the greatest bliss of knowing the pure oneness of God, source energy, love, and how to be both of those in the moment, how to work with that pure essence to bring that light into the darkness, and to fail over and over again, and to fall flat on my face and be, slammed by those different darknesses and traumas, and then to keep rising back up, reaching for the beauty of that light, and willing to sit in it, in what is, as that source of pure love light that we all are. So I developed this portal online at the IAM Sangha as some tools to help you, to help people out in the world, and I'm going to share my screen here to actualize this within themselves, to help you find real mastery within yourself, to really know and live as that pure I am essence, and how to work with what's arising in your life. So there's a couple things and tools in here. There's a blueprint, which you have seen probably if you downloaded your blueprint. And if you haven't, you can go to iamsangha.com and you can download your blueprint for free and get access to this portal and this first code for free, just so you can come check it out. And I'm going to show you some of the things here. And then there's also the compass. So the blueprint is like this map, these 12 different codes. I'll just go back to it. This is my blueprint, so I'm just sharing mine. And it's overlaid on this sacred geometry of the Metatron's cube, which is all about the management of the energy of our field. And each one of these codes represents a different aspect of your life, a different way that you relate to the world, your physical body, your connection, your abundance, ascension, your wisdom, your love, your power, all these different codes. And there's 4 different sequences or bodies on the side, 5 bodies: the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual, and the bliss body, which is this central column that rises up through the middle. So these are some based on some wisdoms of like the medicine wheel from Native American teachings of the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies and the 4 directions. And then this 5th body, the bliss, is this doorway into the I Am. When you begin to really come into the greatest alignment of the truth of who you are, this bliss body begins to descend within you to become your experience, this amazing peace and bliss of pure presence that you are. But it flows within you. It's an energetic, this source energy. So this is why when I say your bandwidth opens, this channel opens within you. So all these tools are to help you develop that capacity and to work with these codes and the shadows and all these things to clear out the clutter, give you greater access to that pure I Am, that pure source energy potential. And then you can just kind of let this blueprint go if you like. You don't need it. All these codes are merely pointers and practices to help you actualize the potential of who you are, to really become that pure I Am awareness. And then you don't need this anymore. You're it. You can get to live it moment to moment. So the compass is this tool for like daily guidance or moment to moment guidance. So I want to share a practice with you. And just to kind of show a couple of things, on the right there's this code matrix, and that's where it just shows all 64 codes. And these are based on the I Ching, which is this thousands of years old wisdom out of China. And it's this miraculous, beautiful system of the hero's journey, all these different aspects, all 64 different aspects of consciousness, potentials of consciousness. And each one of these codes, as I've developed them, the I Am, are pointing towards that highest, that transcendent capacity that you're here to live. I mean, you can work on all 64 of these. They're all beautiful in their own ways and applicable in different ways and moment to moment. So the blueprint is like 12 unique ones to you based on your astrology. But the compass is a way to just work with all of them, because in every moment it's like, what's going on in my life? And so this is the practice I want to share with you. And it's a way to work with the shadow and then activate your transformational capacity. So you could say, taking a look at your fear and your love. So we're just going to do one together, and for the collective right now, to whatever degree it's possible, whoever's tuning in, whenever you're seeing this, just live into maybe this is perfect for you right now. And if it's not fully applicable to where you are in your life, well, that's fine. You can become a member of the portal and have access to the compass and practice this whenever you want. That's why I'm sharing with you. I want you to know how beautiful and powerful this practice is. I developed this with divine guidance. Just following divine inspired energy has led every step of this process that I've been working on for close to 10 years now. As I first began to develop the mandalas, I guess around 2013. So we're going to ask, what's the fear that we're living in right now in this collective? And to see what the energy that we get. And you just click the center and you will receive a transmission of an energetic. Now the thing with these codes is they're all pointing towards the highest, this transcendent quality. So when you say fear, how are we this is a funny one. How are we living wahoo I'm bliss if this is what the fear? But the whole practice around the fear is to flip these codes to the opposite. So what is it to not be your bliss? It's to be your suffering, to be not living your life to the fullest, which is to be stuck in perpetual stories and and not really celebrating each moment, not able to see the gifts of this moment and really celebrating what you are in life, and just seeing the darkness, right? And not following your bliss, but being, stuck in fear, making choices on what's absent or what's coming or what might, and all these things in this global collective experience right now, which is rich with so many things right now, right? So what is it for you if you really look at what's the opposite of living your bliss, of really feeling like, wow, I love this life, right? Yeah. The opposite of that, like, I hate this life. I hate myself. I hate what's going on in the world right now. The world is going to shit, right? How does that feel? I know that doesn't feel good. Allow yourself to live into that. Don't get lost in it, but live into it. Just allow yourself to feel it. And as you come into your heart, I'm just going to do a little centering practice first, right? Centering into the heart, feeling up to the top of the head, feeling down to the base of the spine. Just connecting into this alignment. So this is a way to allow the energetics to arise without getting lost in them. If you stay centered and expanded in your heart, and now you just allow that story to arise and just explore it. And maybe certain parts of your body, I feel my stomach get all tight. Where are you holding this tension? Where are you holding this fear, this call it rage, this hate, this anger? Right? Where does it live? Your heart closes down. There's all you can see when you activate this story, when you start to create this frequency, it affects your whole field of experience. You really become that and you live into it. So now we're just going to do a little clearing now. And this is the practice. And the more you work with me, the more I will help you develop this tool of centering and grounding and integrating your energetics and returning back to a place of choice. Because it may be that you're just in this place of fear all the time and you just feel stuck there. Like you didn't have to make yourself think those thoughts. You might already be there, right? Stuck there. So we're just going to clear now. And this clearing is to move our awareness up to the top of the head and down to the base of the spine. This is a Qigong practice. You can move your hands with, centering in the heart. Just allowing this energy to now clear. Cleanse and clear across all time, space, dimensions. So the sort of more surface that these energetics are for you, the easier it is to clear that out. But the deeper and more embedded into your sense of self and your psyche that these are, the harder it is, the longer it takes, or that you might clear it out, but it's still sitting down in there. So this is an ongoing process and practice, true mastery. So that's the fear, and you can work with, okay, so how can I make more choices to follow my bliss and things like that. But since we were asking for the fear with this code, I'm going to close this one out. And now I'm going to ask, all right, so we've seen this fear energetic of this hating life, not loving what's happening, really wanting to, attack it, right? Get rid of all this and feeling so stuck and all of this old stuff and all this drama and oppression, all these things that are going on. So what's going to help us integrate and come back into wholeness and find a new potential for ourselves in relationship to what is happening in the world? How can we be the source of a new experience right now? We'll see what we get. So, now this is a beautiful code. The sanctuary, I am renewed. in a way, these are all pointing towards this potential of being the truth of who you are. But this is one of those codes that really is that place of renewal. That's why it says, going to the well, replenishing my energy, I am renewed, and that then all is well in all of creation. So this is a little mantra for you. All is well in all of creation. And you might say, but it is not, right? The world is not well. But that's the fear. That's the old story. And you get to choose. You are the source of your experience. You get to choose what you're creating. Now, I know the world is happening as it is, but your experience of it, your story about it, the way you interpret it, and the way it affects your energetic field, that's what you have control over. And so sanctuary, this code is all about reconnecting to that pure I am essence and allowing that energy to come flowing within you. And it comes down through the head and up through the base of the spine. There's this masculine, feminine, heaven and earth energetics that centering in the heart calls in. It unites the polarities, opens this vortex flow of energy. So that's the well. Replenishing your energy, you actually can charge up again. You begin to realize that your state of experience is dependent upon the amount of energy flowing through your field. And the more constricted you get and blocked up, the less bandwidth you have for source energy, the lower your frequency goes, and the more your experience is limited and separate and suffering. The more you stay connected and open and you expand and the energy comes flowing through you, the more you become replenished, expanded, vitalized, and renewed. Till you come completely, there is a place where you are completely renewed. And you suddenly are like, in this now moment, I need nothing from anything. I don't need the world to change. There's no need. I am the pure source essence of love. I am overflowing with love and peace, and whatever it is that you interpret it as. You are what you are, what you choose to be. This is the place of pure renewal. And then you know that all is well in all of creation, even if you don't like certain things that are happening and you wish they were changed. You know there's divine wisdom happening in all of it. Even if it's just contrast to help you be more of who you are, or it's all these things, particularly there is wisdom in reality and what it is, and it's all cultivating greater mastery for ourselves and the world and uplifting this human experience into a higher resonant potential. That's what's happening here. So with each of these codes come with sound healing tones. This one is at D major. I'm going to just show this alignment right now because this shows the chakras and the different attunement of yang and yin energetics. So there's 3 lower chakras, and if you're not familiar with the chakras, that's a whole other question, and I'm happy to teach that along the line, and especially if you want to work with me one-on-one, I can really help you understand anything, ask questions. You can come to the next satsang, or you can join my course that's coming up soon. We're going to be doing some beautiful things. So there's 3 lower chakras, then there's your heart, and then there's 3 upper chakras. And so this one is in a yin state, and then if they're lit up like that, that's a yang state, and these are relating to these lines of the I Ching. I'm not going to get into all that, but every one has a unique configuration that's to itself. Of all 64, there's not any that are the same, and it's very mathematical and beautiful and relates to our DNA, there's programming, there's all these beautiful energetics to these codes and to the state of being. So this particular one has these yang energies, 2 down below and 1 up in the 3rd eye here, and then there's sounds that come with them. And if you just hit this, it'll run through a sequence up and down as a practice, and you can just watch it and listen and meditate, whatever feels good to you, and move your energy as it's moving through these tones. You can also click any one, and oh, my sound's on the wrong. Well, my sound's not working. Must be something to do with the Zoom. Hopefully my sound is working. So anyway, I'll just oh, there it comes. It's just low. go and make your own sound healing practice, and you can click on any of these chakras, whether they're yin or yang, and play it. And what it does is whenever you click them, it just records that in this sequence of time and just keeps looping through those, so you can experiment and make your own sound healing experience. And it's also very beautiful to the mind and to your calming capacity to just sit and watch it and watch the lights and movement of these mandalas along with that sound. At any point you can click on them and turn them off, or you can just stop the whole thing by hitting that, and it just comes to an end. So each one has its own unique scale that comes along. That was an attunement that I discovered last spring, marrying our musical scale, the circle of fifths, with the zodiac and with the I Ching, to develop these different tone frequencies for each code. So it was very elaborate, the detail and levels of teachings and capacity that are within this system. So more to come from that, but I wanted to give you a little bit of overview to that. And then, like I said, you can see all 64 if you just want to explore. Or I've been sending out this rhythm, the IAM rhythm, which every roughly 5 to 6 days we shift into a new code as it moves through the zodiac. Each of these codes is a different point in time throughout the year. And so you can come and check out the code that we're in. Let's see, we are in at the moment, now I'm forgetting which one it is, but you can come and look at it and listen to the sound healing tones and work with that energetic and notice how in your life that code is playing out right now as we move through those days. And the other attunement is, as we move through those 6 days, we move through the 3 lower chakras and the 3 upper chakras, and the code itself is like the root, which is our heart. So each shift, our heart shifts into a new vibration, and then we move through those 6 energetics over the 6 days, roughly. It's a little less than, it's like every 22 something hours or something like that, it changes. So that is the compass and the blueprint. At the moment, if you go onto the portal, if you log on at iamsangha.com, you can open up your body code and work with your very first code and do the alignment. And there's some other tools here, and play the sound healing tones and contemplate the shadow and the transcendent quality of this code in your life. And I also offer you an energy meditation with that'll lead you through a practice of what we did with that fear and love, but just with this one code, and really opening up, unpacking what are the blocks that are in your body code that are keeping you from really accessing that true vitality of who you are and your physicalness. And mine is this compassion and kindness and creating boundaries and really being this like a spiritual warrior, this one in the darkness, and being a valiant warrior of the light, always in namaste to everything. Namaste, that's like my core essence. That's like my theme for this life, cultivating loving kindness, just like the Dalai Lama. I don't know that this is a code, but and so what is your code, and what is your life theme, and what ways have the shadow and the traumas been overcoming your body essence, your code of the physical, and how can you more beautifully and powerfully embody that code for yourself and come into alignment with that. And so that's the practice, and there's 11 more codes that you can go through. And if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, I'm going to be opening up one-on-one private sessions here on Zoom or in person if you're local near me. And I would love to work with you, and I'll work with you, maybe 2 of these codes at a time or something like that. And have some other techniques to share with you along that way that we can do together, also using sound live to really work with the dissonance and coming back into alignment, into resonance, and experientially feeling the difference of your shadow versus your transcendent capacity, and how to open those up and clear yourself out and come into greater alignment with the truth of who you are. So reach out to me if you're interested in working on a one-on-one, and then also we'll have a group course experience coming up in January. So let's see, you're going to stop the share. So thank you for taking the time to be with me here. My greatest dream is that every single human being on this planet remembers the truth of who they are, knows this love, this potential, this power of being the source of their experience. And so that's why I'm here and sharing this. I can tell you that what I'm teaching in these practices literally have saved my life. They've kept me on this planet where I'm not sure I would have made it without them. I was so lost in darkness many times. But as I came into this true mastery and really knowing the beauty of the potential to access the I Am and how to do it energetically, moment to moment, to become this rooted vessel of divine source energy and love. And I channel that through the creation of these tools and these teachings that I share, through the music that I share, as a way to help you find that vibration, that knowingness within yourself, so you get to bring through the gifts of who you are and share it with others in the wisdom unique to you and how you would share it and help uplift others. And as we keep doing that, we're growing this collective resonant field of a higher potential that will take over this planet. I don't know, I think not take over, but like become the norm, you know? Making it easier and easier for all of us because we start to lift that whole collective experience. So I hope you have a beautiful day or night or wherever you are, and please do reach out to me if you'd like to work one-on-one. And I'll share the details of how and what that costs and things, but I'm definitely offering it at a reduced rate at the moment. Just wanted to share the love and get this energetic flowing of potential so I can really share this gift greater with the world in a greater way. So much love and many blessings.